Everybody, we are back. It is Taped on Live's favorite podcast, favorite channel, favorite everything. We are back. You guys already know what to do. Hit the subscribe button, subscribe. Hit the like button if you like it. Hit the dislike button if you don't like it. Leave a comment if you like it. Leave a comment if you don't like it. Also follow us on Twitter at the Mark John NFL for me, at Glen Rockney for Glenn, and of course, pandasubs.com discount code TDL for 25% off. All right, so we are here today. Doing little training camp battles. We're doing that training camp, talk about training camp and just looking at training camp overall. It's next week. We're starting to get some football action here. You know what I mean? We're starting to get some action of football. And we're going to be talking about that today, guys. So, come join us. If you're getting in here, see this guy saying, "What's good, fellas?" Come join us and, ask us questions, whatever you got. How you feeling, Glenn? How you feeling, man?
Oh, it's almost here, man. I've been getting bored of everything else, man. I mean, gosh, my A's aren't doing anything right now. I mean, I like to read books and watch movies, but right around this time, I'm kind of like, I need training camp. I need stories. I need plot lines for my team. I realized I couldn't quit the Raiders if I wanted to. What the hell else would I do? So I always get excited. This is like my favorite time of year is when training camp's about to start because we haven't won that much lately, so this is like the undefeated time that I love.
Yeah, the time where you can be excited for the future, right?
Yeah.
Like you got to get excited for what's going to happen. What's going to happen with the rest of the league with the Raiders at this point because best part of it at this point. I mean, if maybe they could be good. We don't know at this point. All you can do is be hopeful. So that's probably the best part of it at this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I mean they're really, I think there is reason to be excited though, and we're going to talk about it. Like it does. I don't want to be the guy that's like, well, it feels different. It feels different because whatever things feel different. And then they go 7-10, 4-13, and stuff. But I think there's really exciting talent. I think they have a good infrastructure in place, and this year it's all about how good can they be on kind of an in-between install year, and I think they're gonna shock some people early, and we'll see if they can sustain it all year. But if they have a good camp, stay healthy. Seriously, Just stay healthy. Literally, like we're gonna talk about the Wilkins news, but just stay healthy. Like that's so much about what camp's about. Is like, do you come out of camp healthy?
Yeah, I mean that is what it's about. It's because you already got Christian Wilkins. He's on the PUP list, obviously. I mean that was before Wednesday. I mean, I was like, damn, we're not starting on Friday. Shit. I mean, they don't start training camp till Wednesday. I'm like, that's usually something we hear on Wednesday. They're saying like, nah, we're gonna tell you right now he's not gonna play. I think that was not the best sign in the world, but you hopefully like there's no Malcolm Kuntz incidents. You know what I mean? Or Kuntz getting hurt like right before the season starts and things like that. You hope everything stays consistent with that with the Raiders. But yeah, it's gonna be an interesting season because they have a better quarterback. I mean, that's really going to be the huge factor here. And I know people have their feelings about Geno Smith or whatever, like he's not going to win, he's not going to Super Bowl. I don't know all the shit they say about Geno Smith, but at least the Raiders have a legit quarterback at this point. We don't have to worry about like Aiden O'Connell and got to worry about Gardner Minshew trying to talk ourselves into goddamn Gardner Minshew like people were last year. I don't have to fight with people over that stupid shit, but it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Geno Smith. But that's kind of the difference to me. I think is that they have a legit quarterback wherever the hell you want to rank him. I mean, he's definitely top 15, top 20, so it's better than what they had before.
Oh, 100%. Better quarterback, better running back, better coach, and I think they've had one of their better drafts in the last few years. So, especially when you talk about the depth of it. I mean, you could say Telesco's draft was decent, but that's the first 3 rounds. Obviously, you come away with Brock Bowers. We hope that Ashton Genty becomes the Brock Bowers of running backs. But I think there's many reasons to feel optimistic about the future, but I also feel a little optimistic about the current too. So I am, like I said, just healthy because I don't think they're a very deep team. So
yeah,
I think it's going to take them a couple years to become a deep team.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why this training camp, just like, man, please be healthy. I don't, we're talking about Christian Wilkins. The guy got hurt. Adam Butler jumped over him. on a sack celebration. It's like, man, we got like any little thing. It's just like, we lose every like weird freak 50-50 toss-up thing. It just seems to go horribly our way. So I just want to come out of camp healthy, and I want to have an idea of who is like a Pete Carroll guy going forward. And I think it's going to be, we're going to talk about surprise cut today. Like, Pete Carroll isn't always going to pick the guy that we all think he's going to pick. I was kind of looking back at some of those Seahawks teams, and you're just like, certain guys lost their jobs like pretty early that at the time were like established starters. So I want to see who. I'm excited for Cat. I think it's going to be one of the more exciting preseasons and training camps, in a good way. Where I think, again, you have 11 rookies this year, so that always makes it exciting. And then I think with Pete Carroll shaking things up, you're going to see some surprises, some stuff that's going to make fans go, "What?" But if you know Pete, it's not that uncommon.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting with the competition with the camp and everybody getting into the camp battles, because you're right, man. It's the best man who wins at this point. I think, especially with some of the backups, you know, this could be interesting to see linebackers add up. So someone asked a question about that. It's going to be interesting how the linebackers set up. It's be interesting how the cornerback room sets up.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that I have a lot of questions about, like what is Pete Carroll going to like? And it's going to be all competition, right? It's going to be all competition. Thing is wide open, you know? It'd be funny if like Cam Miller balls and it like makes Geno Smith a question mark. That'd be hilarious. But it's shit like that, like where Pete Carroll would actually do something crazy, stupid like that. But that's how he is, right? I mean, because playing Russell Wilson over Matt Flynn and paid Matt Flynn a whole bunch of money at that point in time.
Right.
I mean, it's probably the equivalent of like paying Baker Mayfield at this point, or paying Sam Darnold, right? They paid Matt Flynn and he went with Russell Wilson. You know what I mean? Like he's that type of guy. So it's going to be open to see what he does. That's going to be probably the most interesting part of camp for me.
Well, yeah, and you said the whole Cam Miller, Geno Smith thing, but I think a very realistic thing is Cam Miller comes in and looks better than Aiden O'Connell.
Yeah.
You know, like, and I think you and I are, about as big of Aiden O'Connell fans as a human being can be, realistically. But I mean, I could see Cam Miller coming in and having a nice camp and showing leadership, doing well in the Chip Kelly offense, and just going, okay, now you dangle O'Connell out on the market. Like, that's the type of stuff that you got to be ready for, is like spots 2 and 3 on your depth chart. Like, you might see like a 6-year veteran get absolutely beat out by a UDFA, like, and they earned it too. It's not just Pete deferring to that. It's just they earned it, and they weren't scared to say that was the case.
Yeah. And that's going to go into the surprise cuts, I believe, right? I mean, the people that somebody just gets cut that we aren't expecting.
Mm-hmm.
I really expect that to happen. We're going to go over some of those today. So we got a couple questions. Somebody said, well, I guess the Lalu season ties into this question. Who replaces Wilkins? Will it be Puigs or Tonka Hemingway?
Well, right. Okay, I'll put it to you this way. I think they're going to make a move at D-tackle, and that's why you heard the announcement so early. Now, I think they're going to bring in somebody. Now, that doesn't mean that somebody is just plug and play the guy. That's just somebody to compete with, with these guys. I think the job is wide open. I think Laulu, Hemingway, Zach Carter, like these other guys that you just don't know. That's going to be, in my opinion, one of the biggest battles at camp. One way or another, even if Wilkins was healthy, I still think even just for the back end of the roster, that kind of last defensive tackle, which now is going to become somebody who plays a lot. Because with Wilkins, I don't know, man. Like I don't know how long he's really going to be out for, to be honest. And I guess if I had to guess right now, I'd say Laulu. But if Hemingway comes in and has a great camp, he's the guy. I'm telling you, like they won't shy from that.
Yeah, I mean, there's some, there's some defensive linemen. I was looking at like Zach Carter. I was looking at this dude, Tank Booker, who's like 347 pounds from SMU. He's undrafted. So,
that's right.
Oh, I never really got into his film or anything like that, but I just saw that name and I saw how big he is. I thought that was interesting. But like, I feel like replacing Christian Wilkins, I feel like that's Adam Butler's job, to be honest. Like we're talking about like, who's replacing Christian Wilkins is Adam Butler. That's who he is. You know what I mean? This is his shot to really, like really step up and take the reins as, one of the better defense tackles in the league. He got like 12 sacks the last 2 seasons, or maybe 10 sacks, my bad. 5 sacks each the last 2 seasons. If he can explode and get take that up to have that career year up to like 9 or 10, you know what I mean? Yeah. That's going to kind of replace Christian Wilkins itself. So like we could talk about what young guys going to do it, what other young guys, but I think that's Adam Butler's job. Adam Butler needs to come and replace him. He's got to make sure that they paid him. His first time getting a big contract is more than a 1-year deal. He's an undrafted guy. This is your chance, man. You got that money. Go try to make some more money. You know what I mean? Try to become like a $20 million defensive tackle. You know what I'm saying? So that's his job, in my opinion, more than anything else. Right.
Well, but he already was going to be on the field. Right. I mean, I know you mean in terms of production, like you need to do what Christian Wilkins does. But I mean, there's effectively one more position open that somebody who doesn't play often is going to have to take, which I agree with you. Like if Adam Butler, to be honest, I mean, even if he plays the way he's been playing, that's kind of nice. I didn't necessarily think the Raiders' problems last year was like a Christian Wilkins problem. Sure, I would have loved to have had him last year. Don't get me wrong, but they did okay against the run. It was about the only thing they were okay against was the run, especially when the game was still within reach. And
I lost you, Glenn.
In that sense, they were okay there. It's just that pass rush is like Adam Butler. I know they set people up. Adam Butler likes to set people up for sacks. That's what you hear about. He's the selfless guy. Now you go get some. Mm-hmm. Go get those sacks. Like I understand you're a great teammate, but you're going to be probably playing with either a rookie or Jonah Laulu next to you, unless they go make a move. So you kind of got to go make those plays. So it is interesting.
It is interesting. How do you feel about the linebackers? In my opinion, they're the weakest on defense. I'm trusting in Pete to coach up DBs. What are you thinking, Glenn? Can you hear me?
Hold on, I can't hear you.
Okay. I said, how do you feel about the linebackers? In my opinion, the weakest on defense. I'm trusting in Pete to coach up the DBs.
Okay, there you go.
You good?
Yeah. Sorry, I don't know. I'm on my phone, guys. Bear with me.
You're good. You're good.
Why? Yeah, I know. I'm like, guys, it's a whole different interface here. I'm sorry. Say the question again.
You're good, dude. How do you feel about the linebackers? In my opinion, the weakest on defense. I'm trusting in Pete to coach up the DBs.
Oh yeah, I don't know. The linebackers are weird because I don't know that they are necessarily as valuable a position for this Pete Carroll defense. So I think, look, he had Bobby Wagner, one of the GOATs, in my opinion. So we say that, but he did have some pretty good ones. Jordan Brooks ended up becoming a good one too and stuff. So he did have that. But I think to me I'm actually a little more worried about the DBs personally. That I just got to see the Pete effect before I start believing in that. I think linebacker wise, I think against the run, they're going to be just fine. I think Landon Roberts. But the problem is Landon Roberts is going to have to cover people and stuff. I mean, it sounds like he is the green dot guy. And are you taking the green dot guy off the field on third downs every time? I don't think they are. Like, I don't know how that works. Matt's probably better at talking about that than I am. But just, I think, to me, the linebackers – I'd look for some camp cut guys, but you guys just did a breakdown on Eichenberg versus Lindenberg, and one of those guys has to come take one of those jobs.
Yeah,
I think they have to. I don't mean the job has to be given to them, and it won't be, but they have to step up and come get those jobs because I'll feel pretty good about it if you have a veteran like Roberts with a young guy right there. I'll be like, okay, maybe we got something here. Or at least something serviceable. The DBs to me, I'm kind of like, in this AFC, that can be kind of scary.
Yeah, it can be. I think with the linebacker position, like I really like Cody Lindenberg. Mm-hmm. Just getting my chance to watch him on film. I just like that he's just a linebacker. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like he just feels like a linebacker that would work, and like he might have some quirks or whatever. But I think he can make it work. He'll get the defense right. But yeah, it is an interesting spot. We'll talk about linebacker a lot more here, but it is kind of just a little bit of a play where there's no exciting player there. Like with the corner, at least there's like Darian Porter.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, okay, maybe Porter might be good. You know what I'm saying? So you might have that ability to, like, he might take that next step where he's a really good player, but then you have a linebacker who's just like nobody there. There's really nobody to get excited about. I think that's probably the problem with linebacker, in my opinion, is that there's just not a guy or like, okay, we feel really, really good about him. And I think there's a difference in corner. I think with Porter or even Bennett, like if Bennett takes a step and wins the job over Stokes or Porter wins the job, and both those guys have a breakout year, they might be good in the secondary. You know what I mean? Thomas Harper. There's just guys that are, I guess they're younger. Everybody at the linebacker position that we have is like 80 besides Lindenberg. So yeah, that's the problem with linebacker, in my opinion, is age, and it's just nobody to get excited about.
Well, yeah, and at corner, even though I'm concerned about it, they have athleticism at corner. All the guys are fast. Everybody there is fast. I mean, safety, you got big guys, and stuff. So there's, I see that there's somebody that can be molded there into that. Linebacker, I think the concern is just like, man, in the flats, what are you gonna do, man? Like in the flats, when you got to go chase people down, it's like they could get killed out there. So I am concerned. I mean, I'm concerned about the entire defense, to be honest. Like I think this defense, as of now, I'm not extremely excited about it. On the offense, I'm pretty excited, but the defense as a whole, and it's just because, I mean, an injury here and an injury there, and the defense is like really bad, or at least really undermanned, I should say.
Yeah, I feel that. We go to address the elephant in the room. BB Enjoyer, you gotta tell us what the elephant in the room is.
If you're a BBW enjoyer, you kind of did just address it.
Yeah, man. He's a lover of elephants.
Yeah, hey. On the mind all the time.
Oh yeah, because I don't know what the elephant in the room is.
Is it Wilkins? Is it Jack Besh? I don't know.
Okay, all right. I mean, we're just gonna talk about Wilkins. So Wilkins is on the PUP list, right? He's not going to be practicing early on. They told us like right now, which I said at the beginning of the show is crazy to me. Like, is anybody else getting announced on the PUP list this week? I haven't seen that. I don't know about you, Glenn, but I haven't seen any other PUP list announcements.
No,
besides the Wilkins one. So
yeah,
that is like pretty bad in my opinion. So what are your thoughts on the Wilkins injury? And like, I mean, we kind of talked about it a little bit with the question, but I mean, I think it's a little bit bigger than that.
Well, I will say I did see Brandon Ayuk and Ricky Pearsall are on on PUP list already too. So that's not just the Raiders. I did see the Niners have basically their two starting receivers are on the PUP list. Which if you were to ask me to switch, I'd be like, actually, I'd be way more concerned at my two starting receivers on the PUP list rather than a defensive lineman for sure. Like, so I don't know. With Wilkins, I talked about it at the beginning. I'm counting this season as like not having him. And anytime they do have him, if it just turns out by week 3 or week 4 he's back, then great. It's just you plug and play Christian Wilkins in there, and even then, I think coming off a foot injury, I think sadly I think he's a 2027 guy right now. Like, to me, I think even if he plays, it's going to be very laboring, like it's gonna be tough for him to play the way he wants to play. Now they haven't ruled him out for the season. I think they would if they'd want the roster spot if it was that bad, but I don't know, man. And I feel bad, not for him, he's a rich man and whatever, but I feel bad because a lot of people are saying he like sucks because of this, and it's like, no, it's not Sean Smith, right? Like, it's not like he was good when he played for the Raiders. Like, their defense played pretty well when he was out there. I know they didn't have the best opponents that they were playing against, but Max was eating. Like you saw his impact out there. He against the Browns, I think it was against the Browns, he had a really good game. Like, his presence was felt. But man, I'm glad that that they can just next man up right now and just kind of like, we kind of almost forget about it, until we get some good news, or 2027. I mean, it's not ideal, it's not fun, but you can still be a good team without him, I think.
Yeah. I believe that too. That's what I was talking about, like Adam Butler stepping up, because I think, Crosby having those 6.5 sacks
Yeah.
with Wilkins is a big deal, and that's why I want Adam Butler to step up so he can actually get some attention.
Yeah.
Right. Where we're at the point where Max doesn't get triple teamed.
Right.
Because that's the big thing for this Raiders defense, is making sure that Max is not just getting erased because nobody else is doing any damn thing. So we need somebody else. I mean, that's hopefully with Malcolm Kuntz back, Kuntz can have that bounce back where from the previous from 2023, where you finished the year looking really, really just looking awesome. Basically, he had like 50 pressures in like 8 games. You know what I mean? Like we need that type of stuff where we're having Kuntz having like a whole bunch of pressures, and Adam Butler having a bunch of pressures too, to kind of take the what I would say the what's the word I'm looking for, the just I don't know, just to get everything away from Max, because Max just gets double teamed all the time, and it just take the heat off of Max. That's what I was looking for. Take the heat off of him, so he has that chance to kind of just do his thing. And when that happened with Christian Wilkins, and Wilkins is getting some of those double teams inside, you got to have the center and the guard block Wilkins, because if you don't, then he's going to eat, right? And that what that does is that left Max Crosby one-on-one with the tackle, or and they're trying to chip with the tight end maybe, and he has 6.5 sacks in those 5 games. So that is a big factor to me with missing Wilkins. But I just think the other guys in defensive line got to step up.
Yeah, how about the number 7 overall pick from the 2023 draft? Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that be great if he popped? I know it's not. I know he's not Wilkins. He's not going to play exactly where Wilkins is, though. I mean, there are times where he could, I think. And I'm talking about Tyree Wilson. Like Tyree. This to me, he is the X factor on this defense right now. If he has a good year this year, and good year's relative. There's numbers, but to me, it's just if we see it, right? You just see it. You see him being disruptive, look like he got shot out of a cannon, blowing up run plays, couple big sacks, things where it's just flash play. I think he is closer to there than a lot of fans want to admit, people who have already written him off. I think if Pete can really get to him, we know Rob Leonard's a good defensive line coach, but if Pete can get to him, I think, you get Wilkins back. And even if Wilkins is just kind of gingerly playing football, but still just kind of a space eater and stuff, and you have Tyree playing well, you have Kuntz working his way back, because he might start slow too. You don't know. I mean, he's coming off an ACL. And if you have those guys, then, I mean, really, this guy was picked 7th overall. There's got to be a time where you're not just part of a rotation. There's got to be a time where even if you're not a top 10 pick, even if you don't play like a perennial all-pro guy, I got to be able to at least get 4 games out of you where you look like a good starter, and that to me is what Tyree Wilson needs to do this year. And he's fighting for a 5th-year option getting picked up right now. And perhaps an extension, but we'll see. I mean, I think if he has a really good year, he'll get it when the time comes. But he's the one to me, more than Adam Butler, more than anything. Tyree Wilson. Can you come in if Malcolm Kuntz is starting slow and they want to phase him in? Can you rush off the edge? Can you be inside in a NASCAR package situation? That's what I want to see.
Yeah. Wait, BB. He said Brock Byers didn't make the NFL Top 100. Is that real? Are you sure? Yeah. Are you sure?
No way.
We still got time. Are you sure about that?
I thought that was Pete Prisco's Top 100, which he's a hater.
Oh, no way. Pete Prisco did that for real?
Well, Pete, yeah, you got to. I don't know. Is that real? That's crazy. Double check your sources. I don't know. To be fair, I don't know either way.
Which one? I mean, because we're gonna get to that topic in a second. You know what I mean? We're gonna get to that topic, but wait a second.
The NFL Top 100 is voted on by the players, which players wouldn't hate that hard. Pete Prisco would. Pete Prisco would. If I had to pick one guy that would do it, it would be Pete Prisco.
That's so stupid. But yeah,
I mean, he's a top 25 player in the league right now.
Yeah. Who would even do that? That'd be ridiculous if somebody did that shit. But yeah, I mean, back to Christian Wilkins and replacing him. I think that with him, you're right. It's Tyree Wilson has to step up. He has to make some plays. He just has to have a bigger impact.
Yeah.
And so does, like I said, the whole defensive line. I think the whole defensive line has to step up with Christian Wilkins out. But I think if Christian Wilkins is going to miss time, right? I mean, just let him miss to week 4. I put this on Twitter.
Yeah.
Let him get that pup into the season. Let's make sure that he's healthy, right? Like, some guys said, like, how do you know he's not going to be healthy by week 1? Bro, he's on the pup list right now. How about he's like 30. You know what I mean? He's on the pup list. He's 30 years old. Maybe we should just be a little bit smart with the 30-year-old and let him rest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, I completely agree. I don't want to see this like, week 2 and he's just gutting it out. I don't want to see that. I mean, like, it's one thing if you're working your way back, you're like, I haven't played in a while, so I'm a little stiff or something. But I don't want to see a guy like playing through some foot injury for, let's be real. Like, this is not a Super Bowl contending team as we see right now. Like, this is not that way. And if they were a Super Bowl contending team, they would want him for the second half of the year either way. So, yeah, I'm all for it. Like, IR, I mean, after a while, pup list, but, even if you have to IR him for, a little bit, I get it done right. It becomes kind of a sunk cost fallacy situation. It's like, we're paying this guy so much money. He needs to be out there. It's like, well, you eventually need to see him out there when he can play. I mean, it's unfortunate, but a 300-pound guy with a foot injury, it takes time.
Yeah, he's old. I'm not gonna be too worried about that. He's an older guy. I think they just need to let him rest as much as possible. They could survive 5 games without Christian Wilkins, right? Easily. That was my thing, especially with how easy how easy looking the schedule is at the beginning. It's not like they're going like deep into these AFC West games. I don't even know if they play an AFC West team in the first 5 games. I can't remember.
Chargers week 2, yeah.
Okay, yeah. But you know what I mean? Like, but then they play the Patriots, and not a lot of super like teams that the Raiders should be scared of at this point. So, I mean, besides the Commanders, right? The Commanders probably a little team that maybe should be scared of a little bit. But I think if you can get out of there, 3-2 or even 2-3, you're still not in a bad spot for the season. And then you get Christian Wilkins back, and you'll see what happens with the defense. You know what I mean? See if it grows, see if he gets better. There's no point in rushing him back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and time of possession too is another thing. Let's long drives, time of possession, Ashton Genty. I mean, the Raiders did not have that ability last year. I mean, they couldn't do anything on offense, but like they absolutely could not grind out possessions at all. They just had no ability to it. They'd get to 3rd and 2, get knocked back for 2 yards, bad incompletion or whatever, and you'd look up and you'd be like, the defense hasn't even taken their helmets off yet. It's like a bad lineup in baseball where you're already grabbing your gloves when there's 2 outs. It's just like to go out in the field. That's the way it was. And I'd like to see this defensive line kept fresh. I would like to see long drives by the offense. And I think they're already going to be kind of more of an offensive minded team this year just because of personnel. I don't think they've had the ability to install a defense yet this year, at least personnel wise on there. So I'm with you completely. Like, rushing him back just to be like, well, here's our $90 million guy. Like, now here he's back. It's like, well, if he sucks, that's even worse. If he's out there and playing through injury and he's terrible, it makes your investment look worse, in my opinion.
Yeah. Somebody asked, when could they get out of Wilkins' contract?
It's a 4-year deal, right? 4 year, 4 years.
I think so.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it's a. Yeah, I don't know, and I'm not even really concerned about that yet. I want him to be healthy. I mean, like, at the end of the day, I think he's a good player. So get him healthy. But I think you're still gonna have him for the next 2 years. So you gotta operate as though he's gonna be on the team for the next 2 years. So make sure that you can get the best out of him, and that means let him sit.
Yeah, his dead cap next year is $29 million.
Yeah, it's not next year. Yeah, it's absolutely not next year. I think 2028 is the move you do it, and that's what he's about 32 around that time, 32, 33. That's when you think about doing that anyways. And who knows? Maybe the Raiders, by the time that contract is, when he is at the end of it, maybe the Raiders are a contender, and they're like, hey, we could use another year of him. Like we could. Why would we get rid of him? Like, we're trying to win. So think right now, I think you're right. I think unfortunately he's one of the higher paid guys on the team, but I think they can mitigate the harms for like 4 to 5 games, and then I think there's certain teams that they're really going to need him against. Teams like the Broncos, teams like that where it's going to be very physical. Especially when you're playing at like Mile High and stuff. You're going to want to rotate a lot. That's when you're really going to be missing him. But first 4 games, if the Raiders are 2-2 or even 3-1 after that, and they don't have Christian Wilkins, imagine if they do get him back. How you're going to feel?
Exactly. Yeah, it's going to be, if that's what I'm saying. Just sit him out, see what happens. Defense has some pretty decent games without him last year.
Right.
And I think you have a better just coaching staff already. Game plan.
Yeah, I think there's lots of. I saw a question too if there's any clips yet. They have not reported to camp yet. The Raiders have not reported to camp yet, so there's no training camp clips. I think they report Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken. The rookies are there, I think, but I think Wilkins is you got to be smart, like with him. Like you have to be smart. It's not time for gritty football for 30-year-old players right now whose roster spots are secure. If you have a big investment, you still need to take care of that investment.
Yeah. I was trying to look at the Raiders training camp updates, and the Raiders video came on, and I was like, what the fuck is that? I was tripping out for a second because you asked have there been any clips or reports out of training camp yet? Because rookies have been there for 2 days now, right?
2 days,
17th, yeah.
2 days, but I don't think the big like team practices that you see the clips from, those are not there because they actually report on the 22nd, which is Tuesday. That's when I think you're going to see. I don't know. Training camp's weird. It's different than it used to be. I mean, you only get a few padded practices. It's a lot different, but hey, I think I will say the Raiders social media team and content team has gotten a lot better over the last 3 or 4 years. I think this offseason they've put out some really good stuff.
Yeah.
So I expect some pretty good training camp videos.
Yeah, for sure. I hope so, man, because we've had the stick up their asses guys the last couple of years.
Yeah, no, I mean, you think was it Eddie Pascal? Like those guys are good for team media. Like those guys are really good, and a lot of the behind the shield stuff has been pretty good. It's kind of a bootleg Hard Knocks. I like it. Like it's been. That stuff is good. That's kind of what should be happening, and like the whole like Eric Allen like sit down stuff. Those were good. Like I thought, man, because in the past it was like man. I mean, it was like me. It was like hey, me on a phone in the corner of my house. Like that was the Raiders social media content. Like, it was crazy. Like, do you guys have a budget? Like,
yeah. The Raiders finally making some money. So it's Patriots, Chargers, Commanders, Bears.
Yeah.
So
I mean that you're talking 2 NFC teams, so 1 AFC West team, 2 NFC teams. So you have 2 non-conference opponents. If I mean, I'm even thinking, to be honest, in my opinion, I'm operating as though Wilkins is going to be out for like half of the season. That's just me personally. It's a foot injury. I don't think anybody can tell really until you try to work on it and stuff. But yeah, if it's only the first 4 weeks, and let's say they split and they go 2-2 or even 3-1, there, come on, and you get one of your better defenders back, man. That's when you start getting excited.
Yeah. Sean, come with the important questions here. Do you think it's strange they haven't had a press conference?
Yeah. No, it's interesting. Yeah, they haven't. I hopefully nobody's on the client list on the Raiders. Looking at Mark, you never know with Mark, but like you just never know. So otherwise, no. I what's the press conference about?
Yeah, what did they say?
There's nothing happening right now. I mean, the rookies reported, but you're gonna see a bunch of them next week, man. Like you're gonna see like Brennan, Carroll, like all those people are gonna get press conferences next week. So. Yeah, I think a lot of people think training camp started this week, but it's not. It's not the case.
Yeah, nobody cares about the rookies.
No, and I mean, we just literally got our 2nd round pick signed. I mean, that's been odd, but predictable that it all ended before camp, though, because it's like these second round picks cannot miss training camp.
Yeah, and they all signed at the same time.
What? You're gonna fight over 4% guaranteed, but you move 2 spots down the depth chart? Hell no, bro. And then the Bengals are like, shit, we haven't even signed our first round pick, dude. He's back at Texas A&M. Like, second round pick, we'll get to that. We'll get to that in November.
Yeah, that dude's going back to school. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna go play with Texas A&M again and get drafted.
Yeah, he's Billy Madison. Yeah,
the
that is crazy. Yeah, he should be filming a documentary right now about that. Like, oh my gosh. How can you not sign your first round pick in 2025 when they've slotted all of the rules to make that impossible? Like, this is not Michael Crabtree, Jamarcus Russell, Mink Coat days, like where Wild West, like you negotiate your own terms. Sam Bradford, getting massive deals. Like, it's all slotted. So you're fighting over like semantics. And it's like, dude, wouldn't you want especially the Bengals, they're like a team which they're operating as though they plan on contending. Like, go get your first round pick on the field.
Yeah. There's the new documentary called Back to the 12 or something, like some stupid shit like that. You know what I mean?
That would be so funny. The College Station.
Back to College Station.
Yeah. Him and Johnny Manziel's in it and stuff. Oh, that'd be great. Mike Evans.
The Bengals are a mess, man. Yeah, they're a mess.
They're so lucky that, like, you're talking about like luck, just the luck that the Raiders have had. I think the Bengals have operated almost as bad, if not worse, than the Raiders have. But they had their worst season when Joe Burrow was coming up. Like, I remember it was Max Crosby was destroying Ryan Finley. I was at the game, 4 sacks in a game. Like, it was just. Like, the Raiders went 4-13 last year, and there was no quarterback. I'm not mad about it. Like, Ashton Genty, I'm excited, but it's just they go 4-13. Like, you would think if they went 4-13 2 years ago, they get Jaden Daniels probably, or maybe we'll see. But I just did like they probably have a way to go get him or something. And it's just the Bengals. If they didn't have that honestly, if Cam Ward was the number 1 pick that year, I still think the Bengals would be ass. Like, you know what I mean? If that was what they got after their bad year, like, they would be terrible, I think.
Yeah. They got Cool Joe with his quarterback show. He's
killer, man.
He's just so cool. All right. What was your favorite joke from the ESPYs?
I mean, the WNBA one was killer. I mean, that was killer, dude. People got mad about that, but that was funny, man. Like, I don't know. I'm a big Shane Gillis fan. I saw him. I saw him in San Jose not long ago.
Okay.
I love him. So I mean, it was good. I don't know. I mean, that's the guy you should have hosting the ESPY. People forget the Norm Macdonald OJ one, dude. Back in the day when he was like something about the Heisman, he's like, well, that guy killed a guy, and everybody went people forget the ESPYs, man. It wasn't even as bad as it used to be, but I don't know. I thought that was a clever joke to pretend that a WNBA legend was there, but it was his buddy's wife,
Yeah, because Shane's like a 90s guy. He's a 90s comedian. You know what I mean?
100%.
That's why I like Shane Gillis. Like, he's that, but he pulls it off so well because he's so awkward. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't come off as like crazy, you know what I mean? So
he makes fun of himself immediately after. Immediately after he goes up against a outfielder running out of real estate to the warning track, then he makes fun of himself, and like so he kind of it doesn't, he kind of plays within the rules. But yeah, I like that joke, and then I don't know, and he's a Notre Dame fan, so obviously smart guy. Yeah. But yeah, so that was funny.
Yeah, I liked a few of his jokes. I just like Shane Gillis overall. But yeah,
funny guy, man.
Funny WNBA one that had to piss everybody off in the building. So I know
they were all clapping like they knew the rebounds per game. Efficiency metrics. That's what was funny. I mean, it was like you guys set yourself up. If it went quiet, the joke would have been bombed.
Yeah.
Like, if it went quiet, then the joke wouldn't have worked, and then you would have proved them wrong, So that's what was funny. You guys all, that was great.
That was good. That was a good one. That was a good one. All right. You got any other questions in here? Nothing really, but nothing. Somebody said, who watches the ESPYs? I mean, you could just watch it on social media, bro. I
just watch. I mean, like on YouTube, they literally clipped his intro and I watched it. I that is correct. I have never sat down and watched the ESPYs before, like, front to back.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing to watch at ESPYs. Like, best play of the year. Like, who gives a fuck? Like,
yeah, especially nowadays when everything's clipped on like social media. It's like, I could see it if you like back in the day. It was interesting because you'd be like, oh damn, I didn't see that. If that was like a badminton play or something, you're like, this was Olympic badminton. That was crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, hey, I would have never seen that otherwise. But now it's like you do see pretty much every crazy sports thing that happens.
Yeah, it's not that exciting as it used to be. All right, so let's talk about this top 10 list. We got this ESPN top 10 list, man. We had Brock Bowers number 1. He got voted number 1 tight end in the whole NFL. Max Crosby came in at 4, which I thought was super interesting. That was very interesting to me. Max Crosby coming in at 4. Colt Miller is the only other player. He got an honorable mention. I was looking at the players they let go. Only Trayvon Merrick is the only player who got an honorable mention that they let go. Alex Spillane did too, I think. Maybe. Alex Spillane did. So what were your thoughts on that? I thought Brock Bowers getting number 1 was, I mean, it's the truth. I mean, he had Gardner Minshew and Aiden O'Connell throwing the ball. I mean, right?
Yeah, it's interesting because, I was thinking, I watched, man, Brock is so funny. You can tell he doesn't want to do any media, but everyone wants to talk to him because what he did was so crazy. And he's been so dominant since his Georgia days that, like, people know he's not just some guy who came from a small school. So, like, people have been watching this dominant player. And, like, he was on Will Compton's show with Taylor Lewan, which is a really good interview. They were really good about kind of like big dogging him, kind of like, come on, say something. You know what I mean? Like, they were really good at getting it out of him. And he's just the type of guy, if you go, hey, Brock, like, you're from Napa, what's your favorite wine? He'd be like, I don't really like wine. It's not really my thing. Well, I just like to sit down and watch like tape, and just like me and my girlfriend, just like when they were making fun of his girlfriend because she went to Tennessee. It was funny, man. They did say, they did make that. I don't know if you saw it, but they were DMing him and be like, "Hey, your girl's at the frats right now in Tennessee, like going crazy." Like they were DMing him that before like Georgia, Tennessee, and I'm pretty sure Brock went out there and dropped like 185 or something. I don't know, like went kind of crazy. But anyway, no, nonetheless, I'm like with him, it's like I know he's great. I have no qualms about his career. I actually think his numbers are going to go down this year in a good way.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think he's going to yes, he had Gardner Minshew last year, but also that can kind of inflate your stats. When you have a quarterback who doesn't know what he's doing, he's always going to look for you. Literally only 89. He's going to throw it to you, short. They couldn't run the ball. So that, of course, you're going to try to, get something going with Brock Bowers. Now, the number I expect to go up is the touchdowns. But the best part about the Brock Bowers thing is just like the rest of the league sees it. Nobody is like, I don't know, man. Is this guy really for real? Like everybody, players, analytics people, old school guys are all like, yo, this guy's the truth. And hey, I've been, since draft night, felt like the only Raider fan actually excited about the pick. But he then going with the other guys, Miller's middle of the pack, I think. Miller's a middle of the pack, but middle of the pack tackles are very valuable, and they can get paid more than maybe their ranking can be. But I think that's he's valuable, and I think he has a chance to have a big bounce back year. And with Max, I think Max's injury last year screwed it up because he had 6.5 sacks in 5 games or something. Like, he was going crazy. And if he even ended up with like 12 or 13, he'd probably be number 2 behind Myles Garrett. I would say. Parsons being on the Cowboys is always going to get elevated a little bit. I think Parsons was ahead of him, right?
Parsons was at 3.
Parsons was at 3, and that's the one where you're kind of like, look, I think Max is a better football player than Micah Parsons. Like down for down, Max in terms of the run. Micah has a crazy like speed rush that I don't think Max has, but Max is able to throw absolute like crazy moves at you, and the energy and in the run game is crazy. But I think Max just needs to have another healthy season, and he'll be back at number 2, perhaps number 1.
Yeah. with Bowers, I think it's gonna be interesting with Bowers. I think Bowers will have more yards. He might have less catches, but I think he's gonna have more yards. I think they're gonna find a way to get him the ball downfield. I mean, that's probably the smartest thing to do, and I think they're gonna open up with the play action game. That's where Ashton Jetty's gonna come in. Yeah. He's gonna be able to play in the middle of the field, play action. Where do you go in the middle of the field? You're gonna throw that right to that tight end. I think he's gonna have more yards than catches, which is a good thing because I think last year he was just so much like let's just get him the ball. You know what I mean? Like that's what they're trying to do last year, and I don't think it's gonna be that like it's gonna be a focus to get him the ball, but I think it's gonna be more like what I would say like just like finding different ways to do it downfield and just forcing him just to have touches. You know what I mean? Like,
like a deep post out of the slot or something crazy. You know what I mean? Like,
something. You know what I mean? Like where he's having like 6 catches for like 119, like 120 instead of like having 13 for 120 like he did last year.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I think finding ways to get him the ball downfield, throw the ball up the seam, and I think him and Michael Mayer are going to eat this year big time. So I think that's going to be a big factor, those two guys.
Yeah.
But I do think Bowers is going to have more yards. You know what I mean? I feel like Jacoby Myers might be that more of that possession receiver guy. You know what I mean? But we'll see. But I think you're right. I think the targets are the receptions are going to come down, but I think the yards go up. I think we're going to see like more of like a Travis Kelce season where you know what I'm saying?
Without question, I think. No, I think you're right. I think like even if he does have 116 catches, I'll think like, man, did nobody else step up? You know, like because I mean, or did Genty have a off rookie year? I mean, like you would hate to, as Raider fans, we're like, wait, why would you hate on someone having 116 catches again? I'll be like, well, they went 4-13 when he did, and it's an efficiency thing. Not that he's an inefficient player at all, but it just you want to see him, like you said, get the ball down the field. He has great, like he's able to track the ball. I mean, the KC game was perfect example. You saw it in the KC game where you're going, holy crap, this guy can track the ball, man. Like he is. I mean, they have a generational player on their hands. I mean, I think they've right now, look, Jaden Daniels, especially when you add in what Jaden Daniels does at his position, it's pretty tough to say that Bowers is the best player in the draft. But I wouldn't be surprised after 10 years if Bowers is a better player. Again, positional value. Daniels is a beast. He was my quarterback 1 that year. But like Brock Bowers might, and like right now you can say, how often can you say as a Raider fan that you're watching a guy that could end up being the best of all time at his position? He could. Now, I'm not saying he will be. He could. Like it's really exciting. Like it's really exciting, and I just he is a perfect guy for Vegas because you can tell he just likes to go to bed at like 9:00. He's a perfect guy. Like and it was funny in that interview. He was straight up talking about it. He was like, yeah, I forget what it was. He visited Michigan on recruiting. Notre Dame gave him an offer at outside linebacker, which is nuts.
Yeah.
But he was like, those schools are cold. I don't like the cold weather. And he's from Napa, but so it's like he's like, I don't like the cold weather. I don't like this. So and then he said, LA, I think it was the Chargers had him on an official visit, which thank the Lord they didn't draft him. I know they got Joe Alt, he's a beast, but they didn't draft Bowers. But he was saying, California's taxes suck. So it's like he is in a perfect place.
Yeah.
I mean, now it's time to win because that's the one thing missing.
Yeah, I feel like that is the biggest thing. I mean, of course, the winning is the biggest thing, but yeah, I think Bowers is gonna have a huge season just because you're right. The biggest factor is that he's just like a brute football guy. He just doesn't really think too much about about deep things, and we like that. We like the brute football guy. Especially football coaches, they love the brute. Just football, and he's that type of guy. So he's gonna ball. You know what I mean? But yeah, Max being 4.2 is, I think it says a lot about how NFL teams look at like the run, because I was thinking like somebody else would be over him.
Yeah,
especially after the season he had last year, you thought somebody would be I don't know, like Will Anderson or something. One of those guys, Will Anderson, Trey Henderson, somebody like that would be over Max Crosby. But how the NFL overall respects somebody, how they play the run, is why he is 4. You know what I mean? Because he is a beast there. He's the best run defender out of all those guys. I mean, Myles Garrett plays the run pretty well, but he doesn't care about it. TJ Watt, he's consistent there, I would say. But like, Michael Parsons does not give a fuck about playing a run at all.
Right.
He just he's he's like, can we rush the passer yet? As Michael Parsons does. So, it shows how much the NFL respects that part of his game.
Sure.
And I think that's a big part of it. I think there's a huge part of his game which kind of makes him stand out is just how great of a run defender he is. Because, sure, maybe some of those other guys behind him might be better pass rushers, but yeah, dude, he's such a great overall defensive end that that's why he stands out. That's why he ends up at 4.
Yeah, and I think the snap count too, all that stuff, which I want to go down. I want a snap count to go down, but I think NFL teams understand what it's like to play on a defensive line where you are kind of number one, and it all runs through you. Where Max needs some help out there, and it's not. I think we all. I mean, he's talking about he wants 100 tackles. Like that's like Max. I listen to his show pretty much every episode he comes out with. And he doesn't like to put numbers to anything. He's like, it's not about how many sacks I have. It's, I keep that stuff private. Like, I don't like to put a target on my back. But he straight up said, he's like, I want 100 tackles. How many defensive ends say that they want 100 tackles?
That's not a lot.
Like, that's
not a lot
thing to say. But you realize, I think he had 89 one year.
Yeah, he's crazy with it, bro.
Nuts. I mean, my dad is not a Raider fan, and my dad watches. He's like, this guy's like an outside linebacker, like old school outside, like Ted Hendricks. I mean, he kind of is Ted Hendricks when you think about it. Like he kind of is Ted Hendricks. Like the new age with the modern NFL passing game is like a Ted Hendricks. Like it's nuts.
I don't know. He has a record of making quarterbacks cry on that quarterback show on Netflix.
He sure does. No, and he's alpha as hell, man. I mean, it's almost that time of year for us to talk about that. It's just like he is alpha as hell. He's a leader. I mean, he's a psycho. He's just one of those guys. He's like one of those like Stone Cold Steve Austin longest yard guys. Like just freaking out constantly on the field. He we remember Michael Mayer a couple of years ago. Him just putting Michael Mayer through the center of the earth into the core of the earth. Just because I remember last year it was DJ Glaze there was that report DJ Glaze stonewalled Max Crosby a couple times, like just couldn't get past. And then you're like, next 3 days you see the reports, bad day for DJ Glaze. The Max Crosby was attacking him all day and he's just one of those people, and that's I really want to win with him on the team. Like I really want to win with him on the team. Like it's important that happens.
Yeah, I agree, dude. I agree. I want him just because just watching that quarterback show, like Joe Burrow having that terrible time after Max Crosby and Max Crosby just beating him up. He's like, yeah, man, I got beat up all week, man.
Is there a new one of those?
Yeah, with
Jared Goff. I gotta watch that.
With Goff. And Cousins again and Burrow.
Okay, I gotta watch that. Yeah.
Goff with his girlfriend that makes no sense for I don't know how I know how he pulled that. He has money, but just watch it. It will stick out to you like how you'd be like.
He met her like right when he got to LA too.
Yeah.
Because she was definitely one of those LA girls, like just I'm trying to let him influence her. Let's see,
I'm a wag, what I mean?
Yeah, all that stuff. Get ready with me this morning, like just like one of those, like you could tell, and but it's Cali swag, dude. At the end of the day. Like, he's a Marin guy, 6 foot. I didn't realize how tall Jared Goff is. He's a big dude, man. Like,
yeah, he is.
I mean, he's not he's not wide, but he's a big, tall guy. But yeah, I know I gotta watch that for sure. But yeah, Maxwell. I mean, they hate quarterback. All those guys, Cam Jordan. All those guys. They'll talk. They don't like any of these people. Like they legitimately don't think any quarterback's good. They think they're cattle, or like prized cattle, that you got to go get down. Like it's an ugly sport, and I'm glad. Like anytime I see Max Crosby play, I'm reminded that I don't really like. It's nice to meet good people, and he is a good person. But I just love that he doesn't care about on the field like his reputation. I'm gonna go kill somebody. I love that.
Yeah. It was just funny. Like Netflix was like, make sure to zoom in on all the great parts. Netflix was like, just they made her the star.
Oh really? That's funny.
I was like, whoa, all right, Netflix. They made sure.
She's like, she left LA for Detroit with him, so that's she's gonna. Jared, I left LA for you.
So you better make sure I'm on this. I better be on this documentary. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, let's make the documentary about how much I miss LA, probably.
Exactly. All right, let's get some of these questions. What else got?
I see everybody relates to the get ready with me.
Yeah. Who's performing better, T. Wilson or Michael Mayer?
That's the draft class, right? That's that can make. So that's that draft class, right? This year, that's the 2023, if I'm not mistaken. The last one under Ziegler and McDaniels, Tyree Wilson, Michael Mayer, and Ja'Cory Bennett. Those three guys end up being good players. First off, the Raiders are probably a playoff team if that's the case, and two, that draft class becomes good. Like solid at least. But to me, I think Mayer's a better football player than Tyree Wilson, in my opinion. Like better at playing football, but I think Tyree Wilson can have a bigger impact this year, simply because we're talking about Wilkins will be out the first 4 games. It's set up for him. He has more of a pathway, in my opinion. I think, Bowers would have to get hurt, which, man, hello, darkness, my old friend. We'd all be really sad. But I think Michael Mayer, to me, a good year for him is like 500 yards, 6 to 7 touchdowns, provided that Bowers is healthy the whole time. Like if he's able to do that, and then his blocking, springing Ashton Genty, because Mayer can block, man. He's worked at it, and I think he can block.
Yeah. I think with T. Wilson and Michael Mayer, it's clearly Michael Mayer. They love Michael Mayer. They were going to trade Michael Mayer, and then OTA started.
Yeah. Brock went back to college. Brock, it's funny. People talk about Brock Bowers eating into Michael Mayer's snaps and doing all that stuff and kind of like doing this. But Brock Bowers going back to college might have saved Michael Mayer as a Raider for just like, get that business degree to make his parents happy. Michael Mayer looked like a beast on all those clips. You're just like, whoa. And I'm, you don't have to tell me, I'm probably the one guy with a jersey of Michael Mayer. You don't have to tell me. But,
it took you one game, bro. All you do is play one game. You wouldn't got the jersey.
That Jets, when he snagged that ball, when he high pointed that ball against the Jets. I mean, come on. I mean, I've been a huge. He's my favorite tight end that's ever played for the Notre Dame in my lifetime. Dave Casper, obviously the GOAT, but I just think Mayer's a better player. But Wilson, to me, man, if he can get to that 6 to 7 sacks, good against the run, force a couple fumbles and stuff, man. If everybody else is healthy around him and he's just rotating between spelling Crosby and Kuntz when he can, and then on third down playing inside a little bit here and there on 3rd and long, that's to me really helps the team.
Yeah, I agree. Can you imagine a linebacker on 1st down trying to tackle Genty and on 2nd down trying to cover Bowers?
No, I wouldn't want to. I think the Raiders are going to be a matchup nightmare on offense. Honestly, I don't think anybody's talking about it right now.
I think the Raiders will be really good on offense.
Yeah,
we're talking about how shitty the defense is. Like, but I think the Raiders are going to be really damn good on offense. Yeah, I really do. I'm very confident in that. I think Geno's going to cook. Chip Kelly's going to make it easy for him, and they're going to be able to run the hell out of the damn football.
Yeah, no, man, like, did Geno really grow his hair out super crazy? I seen these pictures. Was that AI? Did you see that picture where they had Geno with like dreads and a beard?
No, I did not see
I
that. I
was
did not
like,
see that.
wait, when did this happen? Yeah, no, it looked kind of sick with the Raider uniform though. I was like, man, did I get duped by AI? That's crazy. Because no, I'm with you. Like straight up, I think it's gonna be really interesting what their configuration is post because I think they're gonna try to be extremely explosive on offense. Now, some people think that means passing 40 times a game. No, I think they're gonna find the most explosive offensive line group that can get out and move. I think they're gonna try to find the most explosive receiver combination that can block and run after the catch and get
Hmm.
downfield. And I think they know that they're gonna have to win that way this year.
Yeah. All right. Who has more yards, Beck or Thornton? Betch, or Thornton?
Ooh, that's a great question. Yards is interesting. Yards is very interesting. Besh is going to have more catches. I think that's pretty safe to say, in my opinion. Thornton could have like 2 or 3 65-yarders that really pump those numbers up. I'll say Thornton has more yards.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll say Thornton. And with Myers here, I think with Myers here, I think Besh might not see the field as easy, and I think Thornton does something that Myers is just not going to do. So he'll be able to see the field in a way that Besh won't. But Besh is a long-term guy. I think there's a reason Myers doesn't have an extension right now, and they want to see if Jack Besh is just like him reincarnated for less money.
Yeah. I think it'd probably be Thornton with the yards, but it all depends. It all depends. I think if Trey Tucker becomes that guy, then that kind of hurts Thornton a little bit.
Imagine
But
that, man. Can you imagine how good this damn team will be if that's the case? Oh,
I like Trey a lot, though. I think Trey has a chance to be a baller. So I really like Trey a lot. But I still think Thornton has more yards than Best. I just wonder at this point, like how many targets Best gets over like Jacoby Myers or somebody like that. You know what I mean?
yeah, and you're not going to play them both at the same time typically, unless you really want to run that football.
Mhm.
Like unless you're like straight up like playing a team that is down to run stopping linemen, down a linebacker, and you want to run the ball and then be able to do some short passing where you have Bowers, Besh, and Myers. Otherwise, I think you're going to see more combinations of Myers and Thornton, Myers and Tucker. I think Besh is going to be It's weird. I think he's pretty pro ready, but I just think it would take a Myers injury for him to see considerable snaps, which is fine. It's like fine for your second round pick to kind of get in where he fits in.
Yeah, I agree.
I think Thornton in preseason though is going to go stupid.
Yeah, I think he's gonna have a
think it's
crazy
going to
catch.
be. I think the hype is, and he's a personality. I don't know if anybody. I want to get him on this show. He's a real funny guy. Like a real.
I reached out to him. I reached out to him. I did it.
He's like a Twitch streamer guy and stuff. Now he went on Samoan Raiders show, but Samoan Raider is Nico Amaliviana, what's his name for the Tennessee quarterback that went to UCLA. That's their cousin, so that was a connection there. They had a connection. So, but anyways, like he's real like funny, and I think he's gonna be like an absolute media darling. And I think in preseason, there's just not like teams like back end of their cornerback depth aren't going to be able to cover him. So
Yeah,
I think he's going to make a name for himself in preseason.
I can see that happening. How good is it? You don't have to watch Jimmy G. It feels very good. I'm going to read the whole question. Yes, it's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So that question. All right. So let's get to our surprise cuts here. Let's get to surprise cuts for the training camp. All right, Glenn. So let's talk about yours first. Before I'll pull it up. What were your thoughts on the surprise cuts here?
Well, because it's surprise. It's not necessarily what I think is going to happen. It's just what would surprise me that is in the realm of possibility. All right. So I just think that there's some guys on this team, and I don't have them in front of me right now. You have mine loaded?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, because these are the two guys I have. I have Tommy Millott and Devin White. So Tommy Millott, everybody's like, whoa, he's a rookie. Yeah, he's switching positions. What if he's just not a receiver? Do you keep him as a quarterback? No, probably not. And we'll see, because Alex Bachman, like, what if is he better than Alex Bachman? I hope so.
Is he better than Kyle Phillips?
Yeah, I hope so. Can I guarantee it? No, I literally have never seen him catch a ball before, so I can't say it. I think he's going to work his ass off. He definitely seems like a good kid. Athleticism through the roofs. And I think on punt returns, like, I think special teams is how he's actually going to make the team if he does it. Like, I think in punt return, perhaps kick return. I mean, the guy's an absolute weapon, but he's a 6th-round pick. They drafted another quarterback right before him, literally the pick before him. So that would be the one. And the other one's Devin White. I think Jermaine Pratt coming in, I know they don't play the exact style or position, but I think if Eichenberg and Lindenberg look good in camp, why do you have Devin White? And he's not getting a lot of money. It's not that big of a deal if you cut Devin White. And it's a good thing if you do, in my opinion, because that means you saw enough out of every other linebacker except him. So those are my two. To me, I think those would be surprising. Like, Raider Nation would go, whoa, if that happened. Like, to me, I think some people always go, what's surprising? Oh, what about, this guy that, Darnay Holmes, well, everybody thinks he's going to get, or, not everybody, but, like, it would not shock me if they cut Darnay Holmes.
Exactly.
So these guys would shock me a little bit, but I think I could actually see it in the realm of possibility.
Yeah. Devin White he does have a chance to get cut. Like, it all depends on how the linebackers fill out. Like, because I forgot they had Jalen Smith over there. We're gonna talk about the linebacker camp battle.
My guy, Golden Domer, dude.
Right. We're ready to go more in depth with the linebackers in the camp battles, but I mean, he has a chance. I mean, I know that he has a talent, but Devin White does not have good film, and Jalen Smith at least has some good film in the NFL. Like, at least I know that. Devin White has some good film, like year 1 or year 2, but like even then, was it good film, or was he just like had some more highlight plays? You know what I mean? So it's going to be interesting with Devin White, and I think Tommy Millott, like, he has to get on special teams,
right,
which is the big thing with him. If he gets on special teams, then he has a chance to really solidify himself on this team. But you're right, as a slot receiver, I don't know, because I think he's a running back. So
I know you're right, and they'll try it. I think they'll try it. I think they'll
running
try
back.
It.
Like, I just don't. I don't even see why the point of him trying to put him at wide receiver. Just make him a damn running back. I mean, just get rid of Dylan Lobby, put this dude at running back. I'm sure he'll do fine at running back. I think. You know what I mean? So I don't know what they're gonna do, but there wasn't any buzz at a Tommy Millott coming out of camp. You know what I mean? Or OTAs and rookie minicamp. It wasn't just like this. Like, oh, here's Tommy Millott making plays. You know what I'm saying? We didn't hear anything like that. So we don't know how he's looking. It's gonna be. We'll probably find out more when they get more in depth with the training camp, and guys are watching. Not to get on Raiders media, but like they kind of just chill out sometimes. They don't really watch. But like, anyways, but but yeah, with Tommy Millott. You know what I mean? It's going to be interesting to see what he does and see how he takes to the next level. If he can become that slot guy, then yeah, I mean, he might have a way on this team, but I think his way on this team is special teams. But Devin White, he's in trouble.
Yeah.
I like Cody Lindenberg. If I had to take a linebacker and I'm going Devin White after like 4 or 5 years in the NFL, I'm going Cody Lindenberg, because somebody brought this up. He said Devin White is going to be like Bruce Irvin for us. Cody Lindenberg, I saw it on film. He could do the same shit. He can come off the edge. And he could be that. He could be that. He could play the Charles Snowden role if you need him.
Right.
So I think that's gonna be Devin White's only way on this football team. Really, is through that after they brought in Jermaine Pratt. So it's gonna be a little bit tougher for Devin White to stay on this team, especially when you have Jalen Smith. I mean, Jalen Smith is competition, and if he comes out there and he has a great camp. Pete Carroll's he likes that story. You know what I mean? He kept
Gainer's another one too. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Like, I just see a lot more guys that I think can outplay Devin White than I can see, like, even corners outplaying Eric Stokes or or wherever else. Malott, to me, it's like you got to be a better receiver. Which this sounds dumb with Malott, like it sounds dumb because who is this guy? But you got to be better than Kyle Phillips and Alex Bachman. But you're just learning the position.
Yeah.
So I think you're right about that running back thing. I'd be interested to see that. I think this organization is interesting. I think they're forward thinking enough to try it too. In my opinion, like I think you're going to see it. I think he would need to put on a little bit of weight, but I could see it. And they show him the clips of him on the jugs machine. He definitely looks like a natural pass catcher. But you can do that as a running back too. Like it'd be great if you could groom him into a future Rex Burkhead, Brady type of running back, and that's not a bad resource to have. Tom Brady just kind of show you how to be that guy for a quarterback, be available for your quarterback in the backfield. That would be more interesting to me. I would treat, if I'm going to keep Tommy Malott, I want it to be a long-term project. I think a lot of people think he's going to be out there this year, and I just don't really see him playing this year that much.
Yeah. All right. Let's get into mine. So I went Leaky Fotu and Cameron Richardson.
Yeah. Good call.
So I think Leaky Fotu, because I just saw that as soon as I saw, I went to the Raiders roster, and I saw that other dude who was 347, and I can't think of his name right now, but I'm pulling him up right now. When I went right to him, and I saw how big that dude is, Tank Booker, I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
Leaky Fotu doesn't have any good tape.
Yeah.
That's my thing. Like, I think Leaky Fotu has a chance to maybe solidify himself and help himself here, but he just doesn't have good film. He's been on 2 different teams. He doesn't have a good film, and this is a competition. If somebody like Booker, who is also the same weight as he is, comes and shows he can play a little bit of nose tackle better than he can in like training camp, and in just overall just playing a lot better, you know what I mean, than Fotu is in camp, we might see him get cut. I think that would be a surprise, though. I think most fans expect him to be the nose tackle, so I think that would be a surprise for people. But even if Tank Booker does start to ball, you know what I mean, it has and maybe that won't surprise fans by the end. But right now, at this point in time, we're in before camp starts. That would be surprising. Leaky Fotu, he's the nose tackle. Everybody's expecting that, right?
Right.
The Cameron Richardson, I did this because the Raiders, this regime didn't draft him.
Yeah.
Right. And I was looking like the guys that they picked up in undrafted free agency, like Mello Dotson, you know what I mean? Even having Porter, the Greedy Vances.
Right.
Those are the guys they picked up in free agency. They just didn't draft him. Right. So, because even a player like Sam Webb, who has just as long as arms as the Cameron Richardson,
yep,
he could be a guy that ends up taking the Cameron Richardson spot. So I think that would be, it's surprising right now because, like I'm saying, like we're not expecting that to happen.
Yeah,
but it could. It's a possibility because, like I said, Sam Webb has a little bit more veteran presence than him. Sam Webb has actually played a little bit better when he has played, in my opinion. And besides the Rams game where he got burned, and we all, that's what Derek Carr's. That's what everybody was done with Derek Carr at the McDaniels season. But but besides that, I think that he had that. He has some better games than the Cameron Richardson. Richardson just played terrible all year. Last year. So it's just since he put good film out there, I think he's treading on tough water here, and he might be a guy that might surprise everybody and he gets cut.
Counterpoint: big, long arms, can tackle and can run. Just saying. No, it's not bad. It's not bad because, like you said, I think he has to. You identified who he has to beat, because that's what these surprise cuts are about: is identifying who gets the job over them.
Yeah,
it's not out of the question that a Sam Webb gets the job over him. Where you look at the DB room, you look at Porter, Bennett, Stokes, maybe Holmes. We'll see. I hope he gets cut, but you never know. You hope Greedy Vance beats him out, in the slot. That's what you hope. But yeah, who's the other guy? Is it Richardson versus Webb? They don't have any ties to him. It's a day 3 pick from the previous regime. But I also could see them really liking him too. So
Yeah.
it's what, but with Fotu, you almost hope he does, right? Because like I said, if this Booker guy, we're kind of becoming this. We're kind of on Booker watch right now. Like we'll be the first people, I feel like, to talk about it. But if this Booker guy comes out and he's just kind of knocking centers off the ball and pushing the pocket and stuff, you're like, okay, watch out for this guy, and he's eating space. And what the hell do I have Leaky Fotu for on the roster?
Yeah. Exactly, because Fotu just hasn't played good football in the NFL at all. So that's you know what I mean. Like it's they're really betting on him just to like become this player that everybody expected him to be. He hasn't been that player at all in the NFL. But I think Richardson's more just like a we didn't draft you type of thing.
Right,
like
of course.
Even if he's long or even if he's like whatever, right? They still didn't draft him. Like Ja'Cory Bennett has more film of him playing well. Like Pete Carroll put on film of Ja'Cory Bennett playing well against Jamar Chase. You know what I mean? Like there's a difference. So that's why I went with. But that's why it's a surprise. You know what I mean? Surprise.
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
Yeah. All right. Is Tyree Wilson going to develop a different pass rush move besides a bull rush?
He's got to be able to get a spin move, man. That's what I want to see with him, with those long arms. Use those like kind of like a windmill, spin move. Man, that's what you want to see him do. Yeah, I think he's just like he operates like a tweener, and I think I like the bull rush a lot. I think to me it's just to get a better pass rush plan or package of moves. It's the first step. I mean, the first step, like he could probably beat people around the edge with speed if he had a better first step. Like he actually, once he gets going, is very fast. And I think that's what they like more than anything. If Tyree Wilson could make $100 extra million in the league, if he works on that first step, if you're not working on that every single day, you're not going to be in the league in 3-4 years. Like it's just, to me, it's the first step with him. Who can fix Tyree Wilson's first step? And, install a little bit of that killer instinct. But even then, I still think more than anything, it's the first step. So that's, to me, is why. And that will then help the bull rush, too.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, he's got to develop some more moves. Maybe he has. Maybe he hasn't. But
this is the year. This is the year right here for it.
I mean, he played better last year than he did the year before. So, like, I mean, there's some chances, you know what I mean? So, he's got some chances to grow there. You think Pete Carroll's defense will ever be crap?
Yeah, it could. I think it could. I mean, when you say crap, though, I don't know if that's what we're used to as Raider fans. Like, I think he'll have us in like the 23-24 range this year is where I expect them to be. Which, to be fair, that's not the worst Raider defense we've all seen. But I think it'll be there. I think it comes around how much they take the ball away. Like if they're able to take the ball away, I think they can get by. But as constructed, I don't really think that they're a team that's going to stop a lot of offenses that know what they're doing. I think when they play a team that doesn't know what they're doing, they're going to win on offense. Just a team that's like, what are you guys doing on offense? Young quarterback that doesn't know how to play. But their defensive scheme, I don't think is going to be all that complicated despite Patrick Graham's there. I think Pete Carroll preaches simplicity but playmaking with playmaking in there. So I think a lot of people are going to, if you don't have that much talent on defense, it's kind of easy to beat if you're a good quarterback. So I think they're still about a year away. And I think they know this too. They would have spent a lot more money if they thought they were right there with this defense. I think they know they're about a year away from having a really good defense. I think they're going to be in around the 23-25 range this year, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I think in yards, but I think they're going to give up less points than we think of because they're going to force a lot of field goals.
I can see that.
Yeah,
and maybe bad and maybe stop some fourth downs. That would be nice.
Yeah, that's what I think. What do you Max Crosby has a rap album? So
He said he was going to put out an EP before training camp. I don't know if he did or not. Marcus, you're going to have to analyze that, dude.
I guess so, man. He's rapping now. He's got a rap album.
Okay. He said he always did. I remember he was saying, like, even at Eastern Michigan, he was like rapping.
Yeah, I guess he used to make beats with Post Malone, like in Texas.
Yep. No, that's what I mean. Like the dude, like I think for a while he kind of thought that was his path for a little bit. Like I bet it's better than Darren Waller.
Maybe Darren Waller got ate up by Foster Moreau on his whole album. So
exactly.
Is,
it's not where you want to be. You know, like oh no, fun. You don't want to get beat by a guy named Foster Moreau on your rap album.
All right. I don't know who has a higher vertical. I'm not gonna Google this right now. Probably Besh. All right, Besh. I bet.
Yeah. I don't know if vertical is. I mean, Dante Thornton hasn't really needed a vertical for much of his. I don't know if that's something he needs to employ very much. He's big as hell, and if he just gets a little bit off the ground, that's usually good enough.
Yeah. All right, let's get these camp battles, man. Let's start off with offensive guard because I think this is probably the biggest one, right?
Yeah.
Dylan Parham versus Jordan Meredith.
I think you're missing one. I think Thayer Mumford's in this, and
I know that's a damn good point. I forgot to put Thayer Mumford.
No. But the thing is, nobody's talking about that. Like I don't think it's common knowledge, but Thayer Mumford is a good run blocking offensive lineman, and if that's what they want to do, which I do think that's what they want to do, they're gonna. I mean, even Caleb Rogers too could be in this too. Like in a way. You see those clips of Chip Kelly that Dan Casey's been posting of like the three polling linemen? That's how I think Caleb Rogers could win this job, is those three polling linemen, because he can get to that spot quicker than probably any of these guys. So I think if they want to do stuff like that, then Caleb Rogers is the guy. We'll see what he looks like in preseason. But out of these two guys, I think it's Meredith. In my opinion, that just in my opinion, but I would not be surprised if Thayer Mumford was a starting guard for the Raiders this year. It's kind of a hot take that I have.
Yeah, honestly, I think that I think Parham would win between Meredith and between him and Meredith, just because how well Meredith played, and he's not getting that right guard spot. He's not getting that left guard spot automatically. It's just how NFL teams hate on undrafted players. I think there's a little bit of that happening, and Parham is the drafted guy, and Meredith
but not isn't. This. But they didn't draft him, and Pete likes UDFA. If anybody likes UDFAs,
he does. He does. But I just think that, like, since Parham is just a little bit more technically sound than Meredith, that's what they would do. Because to be honest, like Meredith, like if the way Meredith played last year, Kappa shouldn't be on this team. Let's keep it real. Right? Let's keep it real. The way Meredith played last year and that way the line kind of finished the year, you would expect them to kind of just keep that same five. But they brought in Kappa for a reason. Now they have Meredith and Parham going after each other. Now, of course, I agree with like a lot of the chat is saying they think Mumford wins. I agree with that. I think there's a damn good chance that could happen.
Man, if he comes out and starts mauling people, like, yeah.
My bad. Keep going.
No, that's it. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, because what if he beats out Alex Kappa?
See, I think you'd be very happy.
Oh, I would be happy about that. But there's a chance of that too, because we haven't decided what position that Mumford plays guard at. So, I think there's a chance that he might do that. You know, he's just so versatile. I mean, he hasn't played guard anywhere. He played left guard in college, but it's you know, he's kind of replacing Parham too. Meredith, like when Parham got hurt, Meredith was a start. Munford was a starter, not Meredith. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think Meredith has a really long shot to become a starter at this point. And it probably is between Munford and Parham. I'm going to be super interested to see what that rotation is at left guard when camp starts.
Yeah, and I think to me, in terms of Mumford's ability to play guard, because I think right now they might have him as a swing tackle, right? Like it's possible,
Yeah.
and he's going to make this team because he can play some tackle and some guard. Like that's why he's going to make the team, in my opinion. But what if Charles Grant has a good camp? Like,
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's an incredible starting caliber or anything, but what if he just has a good enough camp to where you'd be like, let's put Mumford in at guard. Like we feel good about our tackle position right now, or more or less. You feel okay with Glaze, Miller. Maybe you have the rookie swing tackle in Charles Grant. Like what if? I don't anticipate that being the case, but what if? And then you can then say, Mumford, you're a guard on this team. Now, emergency situation, we need you to play some tackle. We know you can do that. But I think Mumford in the run game, with what they want to do, I think he's going to be able to bring some physicality. Him and JPJ, I wouldn't want to go against that if I was the defense and they're trying to run the football.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a tough one. It's going to be super interesting to see how they play in the offseason. You got a good question here. I'm going to see. Do any of these guys fit Chip's run scheme better than the other? It depends on what Chip does, because Chip ran power at Ohio State and he ran zone at UCLA. So what's the scheme? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what the scheme is. Like, I think he's going to do it based on the running backs he has. So if he runs power, though, it's Mumford. Let's give it a real
dumb question here, I think. But do you think he's waiting on his personnel to figure out? Like, okay, does he right now? If you're Chip Kelly, Marcus Johnson is Chip Kelly right now. Have you decided already?
I think so.
What you're running?
I think so, because if you watch Aston Genty on tape, and your system's going to be built to run Aston Genty, right?
Sure, of course.
Aston Genty is a better in gap schemes, running power concepts with pulling guards, where he can be patient and just hit the hole where he needs to go. And I think that is the better way to do this with Aston Genty. Now you have where it comes in is where we go, okay, Raheem Mostert is zone only though, right? So does Nasir McCormick beat Raheem Mostert? I still think there's a chance of that, because Nasir McCormick is great in gap runs. So if they just want to be a gap team for sure, and of course, and mix in some zone in there once in a while, because no teams just gap all the time in the NFL, right? But if they're primarily a gap team, it's Nasir McCormick, the better running back to fit behind Aston Genty than Raheem Mostert is. That's going to be an interesting type of thing too, in my opinion. But if I'm Chip Kelly, I'm running power. I'm acting like I'm at Ohio State with Travion Henderson and Quinshon. What is it, Judkins?
Yeah.
If I'm doing that with those two guys, I'm going to do that with Aston Genty. If I'm Chip Kelly, right? I don't have Zach Charbonneau here running outside zone. So you know what I mean? Like it's right. It all depends on that, but that's what I would do for sure.
Yeah.
And then before you get out of here, what is your ideal starting five linemen?
Ooh, for me, Miller. Gosh, ideal is interesting. I guess ideal for me would be Miller, Kappa. I know nobody's going to like that, but Kappa, Jackson Powers Johnson, Thayer Mumford, DJ Glaze.
Okay. See, my ideal, like since we're going with my ideal, I would go Miller, Munford, Jackson Powers Johnson, Parham, and then Glaze.
Nice. Yeah. Rogers will be interesting, because I think he has the ability to come out in camp and just wow everybody, but I just don't know that he's going to do it.
Yeah.
I don't know why you watch him. You're just like, I just don't know, but again, he could come out and just show that intensity and the ability to get to the second level, because he is an athlete. He is a crazy athlete. So the temptation having him and Jackson Powers Johnson just running out there and hitting people at the second level, like that is like ideal, but that feels like a next year thing more than this.
Yeah. This is the most Chip Kelly shit I've ever seen right here. Lincoln Kennedy said something interesting. He said the tackles are playing zone and the interior playing power. That's Chip Kelly right there. And that's what I'm talking about, bro. They aren't ready for this shit. They aren't ready.
Lincoln Kennedy is a smart dude. He knows his O-line stuff, obviously. So
yeah, they aren't ready for this shit, man. Chip Kelly is fucking cooking. They're doing zone and power together.
Yeah. And he doesn't have to recruit or anything right now. He's only scheming right now. That's all
he's just drawing up crazy shit right now. They're gonna cook, man. I tell you.
Yeah, I mean, hey, that's the thing about Genty is like we might just. There's the thing we don't talk about. We get so like nitty gritty, like it's the guard and the thing. Like Ashton Genty might just rush for like 1,800 yards his rookie year. He just might.
He might, man. He might. Yeah, tackles playing zone, the interior playing power is crazy. That is some Chip Kelly shit right there.
Where Genty is just like just running through like well schemed stuff, making a few guys miss, and and then Gino just kills people on play action. Like that's what I want.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, Chip is the ultimate wild card. I think it's Chip and Brendan Carroll. Those are two guys. If the O-line coach is good and Chip Kelly's good, this team is set.
I know. And people aren't talking about that enough, man. They aren't talking about that. Chip Kelly like became an afterthought with like every Raiders analysis. Mm-hmm. Like, bro, he's just out there. That's what I'm saying. If he that comment, if he's doing shit like that, bro, NFL teams are gonna be ready for that. Especially if he does what he was doing with Trayvon Henderson, where he would line up Ashton Genty, a wide receiver, right? If he lines up a wide receiver, has a motion in, and then they run counter the opposite way off a motion. Like, you know what I'm saying? NFL teams aren't gonna be ready for that shit. So, man, they aren't gonna be ready, Glenn. They aren't gonna be.
That's what I'm excited. I'm just excited to see just even a skeleton of it in preseason. That's why I'm actually excited to watch preseason football this year. And I've always been kind of excited, but like the lead up to preseason is always more fun than actually watching it sometimes. And now I'm kind of like, well, there's a lot of rookies to watch. There's a lot of, new the Chip. Like, how much does he show? Because you do have to kind of work things and install things. But also, how much do you show? And then week one, you come on, you're like, you see offensive linemen synchronized swimming everywhere and looking like Swiss watches out there, San Antonio Spurs movement and stuff. Like, you start seeing that. It's the kind of creativity we've been begging for the Raiders.
Yeah, 100%. All right, next camp battle. I went to corner here because I put three guys here because we don't know who's going to start out of these three guys. So you got Darian Porter, Jacorian Bennett, Eric Stokes. What are your thoughts, Glenn?
I think it's Porter and Stokes. I for some reason, look, if Bennett's tackling and if it's the shoulder and look, the shoulder's healthy and he's tackling, then yeah, I could actually see it being Porter and Bennett, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
And with Stokes being a veteran, but what I'd love to see is these three guys being starters and Bennett playing the nickel. That's like what I'd really like to see out of this team, where if Bennett's showing he can tackle, then not only are you a starting corner, you're my nickel. And that's what I'm hoping for. Like, because if Bennett's not tackling, I don't know that he's going to see the field, to be quite honest. I think that's so essential for a Pete Carroll defense is that you tackle. That being said, is that Porter's strength? I don't think so, but I think they love Darian Porter. I think he is like Pete's like prize of this draft. Obviously, there's Genty. Genty's your bell cow, your Marshawn Lynch, but Porter is just this like athletic freak, great story, absolute Pete Carroll archetype. I think he's a starter, right? I don't see any way that Porter is not a starter unless he is just absolutely not understanding the scheme, which doesn't seem to be the case. So I'm going to go with Porter and Stokes.
I agree with that. Somebody said, is there any reason why Bennett can't play the slot?
Tackling.
He can't tackle.
Or hasn't tackled.
Oh, so I mean, and people bring up his shoulder injury, so I don't know if that is like a big thing, but he could play the slot on third down.
Sure.
Like long.
Sure. No, I'd like that. But yeah, the thing is you have to tackle. Like, teams will run right at you if they know that you're not the tackler on the team. Because you think about the Raiders, to run on the Raiders, Landon Roberts is good against the run. Max Crosby's good against the run. Like Adam Butler, they're going to have good run defenders. Jeremy Chin, they're going to have good run defenders. They're going to go run at Bennett.
Yeah, right at
Like
him.
if he's on the field, like you're going to find the guy to run at. And if it's not Bennett, they're going to run at Porter. But, you feel better if your boundary corner is a little bit light in the pants, at least in terms of tackling. But if you're playing the slot, you're gonna have to be kind of a psycho, and you're gonna have to be this kind of guy that just a flying shoulder. I mean, yeah, guy, I really do miss Amik Robertson a little bit.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
That's the one. Like a couple of years ago, I was like, why not re-sign him? Like he was fine. I don't know. I know he's not a true. He doesn't have to play the slot. I know he played a little outside too, but I really wish they still had him.
Yeah, me too. I do miss Amik. Amik was just toughness. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think he got better when he went to Detroit. Better coaching.
Yeah, if my ideal one for this would be Porter and Bennett, because I think Bennett is a way better player than Eric Stokes, just overall as a corner. Right? And I think that is, but Carroll and Graham are big on tackling, and Eric Stokes can tackle better. So that's why I'm a little nervous that it might be Eric Stokes. But Stokes is just so limited, man. He just can't do a lot. And Bennett can do everything, but he's just not a great tackler. And you can say whether it's shoulder or not, that's what he put on film last year.
Right.
People like to say that, well, he had a hurt shoulder, yada yada. That's what he put on film. Like these NFL players, they want to be warriors, but you put on film what you put on film. If you're injured, like it is what it is. So you put that on film, it's going to make people a little iffy about it, but he is he's the more talented player, Eric Stokes. Like, I could see Bennett becoming a really good corner in the NFL.
Me too.
From a cover perspective. But, when you have Pete Carroll and Patrick Graham, the big thing with them is tackling. But also, another factor is, Patrick Graham's been here the whole time Ja'Cory Bennett's been here. And when Ja'Cory Bennett was a rookie, he was out there week 1.
Yeah.
With Patrick Graham, right? When Josh McDaniels didn't care about defense at all. It's all Patrick Graham. Ja'Cory Bennett was out there.
Yeah, that's true.
So there's a chance that Bennett just beats out Eric Stokes here, and it's Porter and Bennett. So there is a chance there. Me too. And I'm really pushing for that. I really hope that happens for sure.
Yeah, I hope he earns that job. I really hope he earns that job. Talk about the speed, man, that would be there. You're talking 2 guys running in the 4.3s. like that's nice. 2 guys, that's gives you a little bit of versatility. I agree with everyone. I don't know why they don't go sign a Mike Hilton, but they'd have done it right now if they wanted to.
Yeah, I agree. All right, linebacker. I put a bunch of guys on here because after Pratt and Atlanta Roberts, this is it's wide open.
Yeah,
it's wide open. So what are your thoughts on this? Devin White, Jalen Smith, Amari Gainer, Tommy Eichenberg, and Cody Lindenberg.
Yeah, I'm hoping Lindenberg takes this. I'm hoping Eichenberg takes a step forward, but I think Lindenberg's a better player than Eichenberg for sure. I'm rooting for my guy Jalen Smith. We'll see. He had the type of injury that it's tough to change directions with. His Notre Dame stuff, like before he got hurt, was unreal. His athleticism. It's actually kind of sad, to be quite honest. Like he was Fred Warner. I'm telling you, and even his rookie year with Dallas, he was really good. He was covering people downfield. He had that type of play, but he's just a straight line speed guy. And look, maybe something's changed. Maybe something's healed. Maybe he's had something done. Maybe deer antler spray. I don't know. But maybe Christian McCaffrey, Achilles or whatever, the thing Christian McCaffrey did in Germany or something. Like maybe he did that to get rid of those Funyun Achilles tendons. Like maybe he's got that. To me, I think it's Gainer, Eichenberg, and Lindenberg. If you're going with 2 vets like Pratt and Roberts, let's see what these young guys got behind them.
Yeah. I would like Cody Lindenberg to be that guy because I just think he could be a starting NFL linebacker.
Yeah.
That's what I think about Cody Lindenberg. I just think he has a chance to be that guy. I think Eichenberg might be just athletically, it just might not be there. You know what I mean? And I think Amari Gainer might be that, like that when they go 5 across, they go over front. Amari Gainer he has a chance to be that guy where he's the outside linebacker there, right? So people talk about the Bruce Irvin role earlier. That might be Amari Gainer.
Yeah.
But I think Cody Lindenberg, Vinny told me this on the radio that he already has the green dot in the second team.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So
That's crazy.
So if he's rocking the green dot in the second team, bro, like he might be that guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If Atlanta Roberts goes down, they already trust him enough to come in there and be that leader on defense. So
wow.
I think Lindenberg is the sneaky guy here. He's the only guy that they drafted, right? I mean, they picked up the other two guys in free agency, Smith and White, but the guy that they drafted was Lindenberg.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
yeah, I agree.
But I think Amari Gainer he plays the same role that Devin White would play, where if you go 5 across, you put Gainer on that guy. That's why I think Gainer probably would win that job over White, in my opinion.
Please do it too, man. Please go win that job. Like, I swear, if you could tackle, like, and if you can have any sort of football IQ, I think Gainer can take that job. Yeah. Like, please go do it. Do not let me see Devin White playing meaningful snaps for the Raiders this year. Please don't.
Please. Please. All right. So our secret camp battle here. This is our last one. Our secret camp battle. Aiden O'Connell versus Cam Miller.
Yeah, it's weird, man. I want to say it's Cam. However,
okay,
man, look at Chip Kelly, Nick Foles.
Yeah.
Aiden O'Connell's got some Nick Foles, man. I think Foles is a better player than Aiden O'Connell, 100%. I just mean he's just got that kind of like robot statue kind of thing. Like, make it wide open throw, probably gonna make it. If I get you an open throw, will you find it? The answer is typically yes with O'Connell. If I don't get you an open throw, can you make anything happen? The answer is no. So that's typically what a backup is in the NFL most of the time. And I'm going to go with Aiden. Now, the beauty of the NFL, what they've added, like we said, after the Kendall Hinton game, basically, and the Christian McCaffrey quarterback game, is that Cam Miller can be the third quarterback without counting against the active roster. So I expect Miller to still be on the Raiders as a developmental guy.
Yeah.
But it'll be interesting, man, because Cam Miller he's got some legs on him, too. He can run a little bit. So, I mean, more than people think. And if he's making big runs and stuff, and you figure if Geno goes down, somebody who, look, the season's probably over.
It's over, isn't it?
So, yeah, I'm not like, saying anything like that. But I'd want a quarterback that I could at least know is going to play a similar style in terms of the ability to extend the play, the ability to go grab 6-7 yards with the legs. Like, so Cam might be the guy. I'm going to go with Aiden, but it is an interesting battle.
Yeah, because I think it was interesting that they cut Carter Bradley.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, before we even got to this point, so obviously Cam Miller did something for them in OTAs where they cut Carter Bradley. They haven't brought in another quarterback, have they? I don't think so.
No.
Right? There's only 3 quarterbacks on this roster. If I could,
did they still have my guy from UNLV? Is he still there? Hajj Malik Williams.
Let's see.
He might be still there. He's another one. I mean, I actually kind of enjoyed watching him at UNLV a little bit.
Yeah, QB. No, dog. It's just 3 people.
Wow. So they must have cut him then.
So they don't have 3 guys at quarterback. I mean, they haven't brought in anybody else. They cut Carter Bradley. I feel like this. That's why I brought this up, because I feel like this is a battle at this point.
No, it's absolutely a battle.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not really about what we think at this point. Like, we could say that Aiden O'Connell is a better quarterback. I think from a quarterback perspective, if Geno Smith went down, I want Aiden O'Connell to play, because I think Aiden O'Connell, if Geno Smith went down for 3 games, he's not Drew Lock. You know what I mean? He's not like Tommy DeVito.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like he could right the ship for 3 games. You could find a way. If the team is good enough, you could find a way to win 2 games out of 3 with Aiden O'Connell, right?
Yeah.
Depending on how you're playing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if Jackson Power Johnson doesn't mess up that snap last year, they beat the Chiefs. You know what I mean? So like, it's he's the better backup, but I just think that when they cut Carter Bradley, that says a lot about Cam Miller, in my opinion, how they feel about Cam. Because I'll say this about Cam Miller. Like, people are asking about his arm. I see a lot of questions. Does he have a stronger arm than Gardner Minshew? No, he does not. He does not have a big arm. His arm is actually pretty weak overall. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. But Miller can move. He's athletic. He has great pocket presence. It is great. He has great pocket presence. He has great pocket feel. Understands when to run, when to throw the ball. There's a lot of things to like if you're in practice and you're in shorts that he could look really good. We'll see how he looks in camp, but that's where it got super interesting for me because they haven't brought another quarterback. You're right. They cut the dude from UNLV.
Mm-hmm.
They cut Carter Bradley, and now it's just Aiden O'Connell, Cam Miller, and Geno Smith. So
that's it.
I mean, if they keep all 3, that's fine. But does Cam Miller become the number 2 over Aiden O'Connell? You know, because Cam Miller is perfectly built for preseason, where he's playing against 3s and he doesn't have to have a big arm, but he has the poise and the mechanics, and you know he understands how to run defense. You know how to run a West Coast offense. He can run the football. He's like perfect for preseason. That's why I think Aiden O'Connell's in a little bit of trouble here because Raiders fans in here like, no way he'd beat AOC. But all it takes for him in that first preseason game is to run for a touchdown and throw 2.
It'll be interesting to see if
that's all it'll take.
It'll be interesting to see if Geno plays in preseason at all. Like, I don't know. I don't know the way Seattle did preseason. Like, do they play starters? Did they not? I don't know at all. But O'Connell's gonna have a chance to probably start a lot of these games, you know, against maybe some teams that are playing their ones or couple of ones here and there, you know, like peppered in there, getting some reps. You know, conversely, you could say O'Connell shredding a couple teams. Yeah, kind of first team defenses, not really. You know, you could see them going, okay, if Geno goes down. And it's also going to say where they're at, right? Are they going to go, God, maybe Cam is something a couple years from now. Let's keep him as that too. Or, we think we're competing right now. We need O'Connell to come in, like you said, for 2 to 3 games at times. If Geno takes a, you know, weird, awkward fall or something like that, you know, around the sideline. Like, that's what it's going to tell you, too. Because if Cam Miller's the backup quarterback, that means they don't view this year as the win it all kind of thing, you know, and or that. But with O'Connell, I think you're going to say, like, look, we need a competent starter who, you know, that's debatable amongst Raider Nation if he's a competent starter. He has started and won some football games, though.
Yeah. It's interesting. When they cut Carter Bradley, I was like, wow.
Yeah. That's your old defensive coordinator's son, man.
I was like, damn, there's no nepotism there at all. Would Genty be good running kickback? They're not gonna do that.
Never. I would. Please don't do that. I'm telling you, I think on kickoff returns, I'd like to see Dante Thornton. Kickoff returns, where you got like a 20-yard head start, and you just make one guy miss and go. I just want to just try it out. Is all I'm saying. Because you see some of those long touchdowns he have, you're just like on a slant, and you just see you later, and he gets the edge on somebody. I think Malott is going to end up being the kick returner or punt returner. Like, if it all goes well, I think it'll be Malott. Because that's kind of wide open, but they did draft and bring in a lot of speed guys. So it'll be interesting. But yeah, I in camp, I'd like to see Dante Thornton return a kick, not a punt, a kick.
Yeah. All right. Well, we didn't got any more questions here, guys. I mean, we're on our topics here. So I think we'll be out of here. So you got any last words, Glenn? Any last thoughts here?
No, I'm excited. I'm excited for camp. I'm excited for plot lines and all the drama that training camp is. Bills are on Hard Knocks. This is gonna be interesting. The NFL dropped their
Really?
Hard Knocks. Yeah, they dropped their the NFL dropped their Hard Knocks qualifiers where it used to be typically bad teams because it was you had a coach that wasn't in their first year and a team that missed the playoffs. So it would be like a guy in their second or third year with a kind of bad team, and that would be they could force themselves on them. The NFL could force them to do it. Now the NFL I think just handpicks teams because they realized we need contenders on here. So that'll be interesting. But I just want to see I just want the Raiders to come out of this camp healthy, man. That's number one for me. Come out of the camp healthy, and we'll see what happens.
Exactly, man. All right, guys. Hit the subscribe button. Subscribe. We got training camp happening next week. We're at football season, guys. It's football season.
Mm-hmm.
We're here. So hit the subscribe button, guys. And we're out of here. Peace.
Yeah.